ideas that might be useful for us today as we try to address problems of race, problems of economics, problems of violence and human destruction. So the scholarship is moving in that direction. I think scholars are also beginning to see Dr. King as a world figure.
Okay, good.
And I think that's important because for too long we limited him to the American context.
Almost to the South.
That's right, and seeing him as a Southern black leader, as an American Gandhi. But now scholars are looking at his impact on liberation movements around the world, in South Africa, Vietnam, India, Africa, and how he has influenced liberation movements worldwide, how he has inspired people. I don't think it's an accident that that in over 100 countries today, Dr. King's birthday is recognized or celebrated. And that's really puts him in a very unique place in history, because even presidents of the United States don't have that kind of recognition. And so Dr. King, I think, is being appreciated finally for what he tried to give us a half-century ago, for what he tried to achieve in terms of not just a national beloved community, but an international beloved community.
And so King still, the whole career will still have a tremendous impact upon whatever we do having to do with human relations.
Exactly, there's no question about it. We hear the song "We Shall Overcome" all the time. Women who are interested in women liberation sing that song. The anti-war protest in Crawford, Texas recently, the song "We Shall Overcome" was heard. So I think it says something about Dr. King's legacy and how that legacy continues to live in movements for justice, in peace movements, in movements against poverty. Also, Dr. King, I think we have to keep this in mind, was very much concerned about health care issues.
Very good.
Because he moved from this idea of this dignity and worth, the sacredness of all life. All life is sacred. So he was concerned about health care, and that's a major problem in the 21st century. Millions of people don't have health care. And Dr. King was very much concerned about that. He was concerned about the handicapped. He was concerned about children's rights. All of these issues
that young people, Dr. King, and young people, I mean, children, young people, I mean, what's with that?
Unfortunately, scholars have not addressed that yet, but I've been going through some of his papers at the King Center, and I've gone to Boston University a number of times, and the letters he wrote to children are very impressive, because he always challenged them not only to study, but to think ahead. To think in terms of what they wanted to become, to think in terms of the kinds of contributions they could make, not just to the uplift of themselves, but to the uplift of humanity. Now, interestingly enough, about 10, 15 years ago, the King Center did publish a major manual on how to teach Dr. King's principles to children. But unfortunately, schools have not noticed, have not taken note of that particular document. It's a very, very important document that gives guidelines for teaching children nonviolent principles from kindergarten up to grade 12.
So there's already a plan that has already been laid out by Dr. King in terms of how that can be done.
It's not being used, and I think given the levels of violence in our society and in our world, we're going to have to start looking at documents like this and looking at Dr. King's life and his teachings and to sort of determine the meaningfulness of those teachings for us today, because there's a certain timelessness about the concerns that Dr. King raised with respect to violence and human destruction.
You know, that's why we always return to that 1997 interview, that no matter when you listen to that, you can listen to it in 2005. It still seems as if it was done yesterday, primarily because of that timelessness that you're talking about.
Exactly.
And of course, Dr. Baldwin, we're going to have to take our second commercial break, and after which we'll come back and give you an opportunity to close us out for today. And we'll see our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is